Hey guys, hope you're doing okay today. Hope you're having a good morning. Today we're going to be reading our third story from the Jesus Storybook Bible. If you remember, last time we read about how uh, God had made everything good and Adam and Eve believed a lie from the serpent. They they doubted God. They doubted that God really loved them and cared for them. And they believed the lie of the serpent and they ate the fruit that they weren't supposed to eat. They disobeyed God and they had to leave the garden. And everything was different. But God told them it will not always be like this. God promised that He would come and He would rescue them. And He said, when I rescue you, I'm going to do battle against the snake that lied to you. I'm going to get rid of the sin and the dark and the sadness that you let in here. God promises to come back. And one day He will come back. Well, today we're going to read about Noah, and the story of Noah. Time passed, and many people filled the earth. Everyone, everywhere had forgotten about God and were only doing bad things all the time. They were only doing bad things all the time. And God's heart was filled with pain when He saw what had happened to the world that He made, the world that He loved. Everywhere there was disease, there was death, there was destruction, all of the things that God hates most. Now, Noah was God's friend, which was odd in those days because no one else obeyed God. No one else was God's friend, but Noah listened to God. He talked to God. He loved being with God, kind of like you do with your best friend. Noah, God said, things have gone wrong. People have filled my world with hate instead of love. They're destroying themselves and each other and my world. I must stop them. First, we'll build an ark. Do you know how to build an ark? Noah didn't either. Luckily, God knew, and God would show him how to build the ark. A storm is coming, God told Noah, but I'm going to rescue you, I promise. I will send the animals to you, ones that creep and crawl and slither, slime, gallop, hop, bound and climb. And don't forget to pack everyone's food. The storm was going to wash away all the hate and sadness and everything that had gone wrong, and it was going to make the world clean again. God had thought up a way to keep Noah safe, but Noah would have to trust God and do exactly what God told him to do. So Noah built an ark. Ark, that's just short for a big boat. Noah's neighbors came out to watch and point and laugh because they didn't believe Noah about the boat or the storm or even needing to be rescued. Noah must have looked rather silly. His boat was in the desert, right? In the desert, there was no sea anywhere, and there wasn't even a cloud in the sky. Why would anyone need an umbrella, let alone a boat? But Noah didn't mind so much what other people thought. He minded what God thought. So he just did what God told him to do. And when the ark was ready, God said, "All aboard!" And Noah's family and all the animals climbed inside, and God shut the door. And it started raining for minutes that joined up into hours, that joined up into days, that joined up into weeks and weeks, and the rain joined up into puddles, that joined up into rivers, that joined up into lakes, that joined up into a flood that covered the whole world. Their boat that had once seemed so big suddenly seemed very small. But in the middle of the huge storm and the crashing waves and all the thunder and lightning, through it all, God was with them. God kept them safe for 40 long days and 40 long nights. Finally, the rain stopped. The sun came out, and Noah threw open the windows. "Hooray!" everyone shouted. Noah sent his dove out to explore, and it wasn't long before she brought him back a fresh olive leaf. Everyone knew exactly what that meant. She had found a tree. She had found land. The water was going down. At last, the boat landed quite suddenly on top of a great mountain, and it was soon as it was safe, God said, "Out you come!" And so they did, everyone skipping and dancing onto dry land. The first thing that Noah did was to thank God for rescuing them, just as he had promised. The first thing God did was to make another promise. I won't ever destroy the world again. And like a warrior who puts away his bow and arrow at the end of a great battle, God said, see, I have hung my bow up in the clouds. And there in the clouds, just where the storm meets the sun, there was a beautiful bow made of light. Beautiful light. It was a new beginning in God's world, and it wasn't long before everything went wrong again. But God wasn't surprised. He knew this would happen. That's why before the beginning of time, he had another plan. A better plan. A plan not to destroy the world, but to rescue it. A plan to one day send his own son, the rescuer. God's strong anger against hate and sadness and death would come down once more, but not on his people or his world. No, God's bow was not pointing down at his people. It was pointing up into the heart of heaven. That's the story of Noah and his ark, and it points us to the hope that we have in Jesus. Because Jesus came and he died for all the sins and sadness. So that's the good news. God is faithful to his promises. Well, we'll be back tomorrow for another story. Have a good day.